Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still start trouble. He's not second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the VWSC Virtual World Sports Car Championship. And it's from the best track ever in the land. And I don't care who or what, or if anybody disputes it, I will fight you. So there we go. I'm James Parver, going to be joined in the booth by Tom Cairns and also Mr. Ross Smith, who's going to come along for the ride this afternoon. It's going to be absolutely epic. We've got a little bit of an earlier start time due to the bronze match, or if you're normal, the third and fourth match in the World Cup that has England in it. Not the fact that they did themselves very good in the semi-final. But we won't talk about that. We're going to move on and enjoy this absolutely amazing action that we got coming up. Let's have a look at the schedule this afternoon. As you can see, we are at Sao Paulo. It's 90 minutes of Sao Paulo. Then we head to Road America for 60 laps on the 8th of August. Kota on the 29th. Fuji on for 90 minutes as well after that. Then we go into October. It's going to be Road Atlanta, Qatar. And then we finish off the season at Bahrain. But let's have a look at this absolute amazing circuit. Sao Paulo, 4.31 kilometers, 2.68 miles, and built in 1940. If anybody in YouTube chat can tell me what is the name of turn 15, I'll be very interested to know if any of you know it. There is a turn there in turn 15. Can you tell me what it is? If you can, great. If you can't, well, unfortunately, I'll tell you the answer on that one. Keys to the race: high degradation, protect the tyres, critical traffic timing through Sector 2, mind the stricter track limits. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be interesting. GTs, fuel 2 times, 30 to 35 minutes. They're going to do 2 stops. They've got the medium and the hards. Hypercars, 20 to 24 minutes, 3 to 4 stops. They're running the medium, the hards, and the softs. And the wets. Sorry, I should say medium, softs, and wets. There you go. Let me get that right for you there as well on that one. Let's go into the championship standings, starting off with the GT3 AMS. Vasilios Karamanakis out in front with Matty Overton in second at the moment and Dan Kruger in third. They're the main 3, let's not forget. And of course, for the 90-minute race is 25 points for a win and 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1, and then 0.4 points for each car placing beyond 10th in class. So there we go. In the team standings, it's a draw. Ladies and gentlemen, Pinnacle Racing Team McLaren and Dark Thunder are tied. Oh, we'll have to keep an eye on that one as it goes on. In the LMGT3 Pros, Dan Kirby out in front. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, who is not surprised at that one? JT Tammy sitting in second place with John Uyan tucked in behind him. Well, let's see how these guys goes. It's going to be very, very interesting indeed. David Junt in there, Alan Holden, William Snowden and Riley Koenig rounded out the top 7. In the team, CMS Pro Porsche. I'm not surprised. All right, in front of 334 points. In the Hypercar AMS, George Angelidis leads the way. Is he finally going to be the bride? Or is he always going to be the bridesmaid? Well, we'll find out. See how him and Jerry Chen get on there. Zaku Chauveau rounding out the top 3. They're really the main 3 protagonists. Maya Schenk Racing, Angelidis and Chauveau are out in front by quite a mile over Eric Bonet and Jerry Chen. Keep an eye and see how they get on in the teams today. In the Hypercar Pros, Tom Lane out in front by 6 points over Ben Kesby with Johnny Gutierrez there in third place. Again, they're the main top 3. We'll keep an eye and see how they get on. British Turkian Racing Ferrari out in front in points in teams, 249. Well ahead of Bad Day. I think we can safely say that that's going to be the situation for them. They're going to be the 2 teams battling away in that one. There you go. That's the housekeeping done and dusted. Let's have a chat with Tom Cairns first of all. He's going to come in and show us and speak to us about this wonderful circuit. Tom, welcome in, bud.
Hello, James. Hello to everybody. Yes, we are here at one of the best circuits in the world of Interlagos, named after the 1975 Brazilian Grand Prix winner himself, Jose Carlos Pache. God bless his soul. But here we are, the 19 minutes event. Of course, it's essentially the Formula 1 point system. For each of the classes around here. So 25 for a win, 18 for second. So still a lot of points to pick up during the course of today's race. And we've still got a lot of races to come later in the year before the season concludes in Bahrain.
Yeah, we absolutely have. And I think that's why it's going to make it very, very interesting indeed. And I think that's one that basically is going to keep everybody, Tom, on tenterhooks. I think this is going to go down right down to the wire in some of the classes, I believe, as well. And I think others might be even closer. So we'll have to keep an eye out and see how they get on here today and see whether or not some of them pick up big points, some of them don't pick up big points. But who's going to keep it on track? Well, that's why we've got Ross Smith. He's going to tell us who's going to keep it on track and who is going to survive this one. Ross, my little darling, what have we got coming up today?
James, well, thanks for having me. Good to be here, Tom. Well, it's going to be a really interesting course for a lot of the drivers here coming off of the 60 laps of Watkins Glen. We got to see how some of these drivers were able to handle a more curvy track. And this is certainly one that is going to favor cars that can handle those mid-speed corners. So kind of looking at Axel Laflamme there up at the front, he's shown that he's got a lot of pace. He's very fast in that Valkyrie. It's just, can he keep it under himself the whole time? Chasing at his heels is Ben Borman in the Acura, who just yesterday, or sorry, 2 days ago now, at the NARS sister race, which is running at CTMP, he was able to put on a showing with his ARX-06 and really proved that, yeah, that car can handle a nice, smooth, curvy track. So I'm sure he'll be biting at the heels there. And of course, you're going to have the likes of Tom Lane, Timon Suvic, and Johnny Gutierrez keeping them all even. And kind of a couple wild cards in the mix would be Alan Smith, who's been able to finally get back in after recovering, I believe, technologically and physically. So he's going to be able to show us what he can do in his Acura. And then further down the order, who's behind some of these hypercar AMs, is Hubert van Gashoven, who is the teammate, or was a teammate for, I believe it was Alan Smith. And I know that he's been able to show that he's got some good pace too. We'll see if he's going to be able to put that to the road. I'm going to point out that for those hypercars, they're going to be kind of working a strategy between mediums and hards. And we did see that hards could play a role at Watkins Glen, where the mediums were falling off in the higher heat, which we're seeing here at Interlagos today. It's about 44 on track right now. It's only 23 ambient, so not too bad there. So radiator is going to be cleaning everything, but the tires are definitely going to get some heat abuse. So look for some of them, especially the Acuras right now. I see George Angelidis leading the Hypercar AMs in his Acura. He's got hards all the way around. Ben Borman also in the Acura, second place right now on the timing sheet. He's on his hards. And like I said, Gashoven, he's down there also on hards. I think that you're going to see some of these drivers switching back and forth, playing with some of the strategy right on that cusp where temperature is going to matter. And of course, if you're looking down at the, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you carry on. Go
Keep
on.
going.
No, you took a breath. I thought you'd stopped. Carry on, Ross. Sorry.
I'm just trying to hammer them out here real quick. I know we're going to be having a quick start time, but Dan Kirby obviously leading the way in that Porsche 911, chased by David Yunt and his teammate JT Tammy and their Lexuses. The RCF putting on its final year. This year, we're switching over to the GT-GR GT3 from Toyota, which is premier. We're going to be working on that car, getting in the pack for 2027. And right in that mix is Alan Holden in that Lamborghini Temerario, which, I mean, he's been able to show he can be in there, mix it up. He's just kind of looking for his golden opportunity to really show that he can put in some pace. So really great to see that. And a little bit of a wild card here. Brian Hall showing up now in the GT3 field. He's in the Corvette Z06, which he's just trying out. And that car recently got VOPed, which premiered at Watkins Glen and was showing that it does have some pace. So I'm curious to see if Brian Hall is able to work it through some of the twisty parts of Sector 2 on this track. And then, of course, you've got Vasilis Katarinakis, who's put on a great showing in the Ford Mustang at the top of the GT3 Anfield. And I believe that we're going to see a bit more of that today. But it's a tight track, like you were saying before. You know, there's a lot of difference in closing speed between the hypercars and the GT. So it's going to be who can kind of command that gap and just kind of stay on top of their strategy who's going to come out on top.
Yeah, I think you are going to be definitely right on that one. I am interested, though, Tom, traffic management through Sector 2. And that normally kicks off, as we know, when they start down the Rena Riposta and then going on from there. Now, how are we going to deal with this? Turn 4 right the way through to probably Mugello in Turn 11. That's going to be tight, right? So how are the traffic going to cope with that one?
It's about finding the space possible. I mean, when you go up the hill towards La Reina, that's how it's pronounced, the uphill section before you go towards turn 8, it narrows out and it's so difficult to sort of find the space to basically slot your way through. So track position is going to be key around here because it is a short circuit, as we all know. So timing of the pit stops is going to be absolutely crucial, and avoiding traffic is going to be so key. With 27 drivers in 4 different classes competing today, it's going to be one of the talking factors around here, but I think the driver or team that come out on top here are the ones who are able to manage it the best.
I think you might be right on that one. We are coming towards the end of warm-up. Start time for the race, we were looking at 6 o'clock, which is 2 minutes ago. So I guess George talked a bit longer than he wanted to in the driver briefing on that one, but it does say we've got 10 minutes of warm-up left, so we will get to the end of that and then we will go into race. We have gone a little bit earlier, an hour earlier, because as I said regarding the 3rd and 4th playoff, I refuse to call it the bronze match. That is just absolutely ridiculous. It's the 3rd, 4th playoff in the World Cup later on, and if you're an England fan, which of course me and Tom are, we're going to want to watch it. So there we go. And I was happy that the poll come out that they all wanted to start an hour earlier for that one, because then I get to sit and watch the football and chill out. So happy about that. So what have we got coming up? Well, we're going to look at 90 minutes here. What we've also got is certain sectors of this racetrack that are going to be very, very interesting for these guys to drive. First, turn 1, coming through the Center S, through Curva del Sol, down onto the Rena Riposta. Rena Riposta being the straight, it should give them the most amount of opportunity for the hypercars to pass the GT3s. Then we enter the wiggly bit, okay, from 4 up through 5, Ferradura, Laranjara, Pinorino, SA, Bico de Pato, Mugello, Juncal. That's the flashpoints of this circuit, which is basically about 70% of this track anyway. Next corners that they can go from Juncal right the way through to turn 1. Long run up the hill, through the left-hander, through another left-hander, straight down into 1. That again is where the hypercars should be able to make overtakes. Ross, how is this going to work? Are they going to be as patient as I think they should be, or are they going to be diving GT3s all over the place and that middle section is going to be dramatic?
Well, I think you probably already know the answer there, but you're going to have a mixed bag, and it just depends on the drivers going through this one. As we know, as we've said, Sector 2 is very tight. You have to be patient there. But as we get close to the end of the race, even at the midpoint, I think you're going to see some drivers really trying to push to get up and go. And that's when you're going to start to have some tempers flare, drivers taking a little bit more patch than probably they should be. And it's going to come down to who can keep their temper and who can kind of control the traffic very well. But yeah, it's going to be close. 90 minutes is not very long for one of these endurance races, so everyone's got to make the moves where they can.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just more worried about two factors there, Ross: patience and the heat. If you're in the UK today, you are sweating out of areas that you didn't even know sweated. Let's just put it that way. And I'm in the same boat. I have 3 fans on me at this moment in time, and I'm still absolute roasting like a peanut in an oven. I can tell you that much, because it is very hot here today. So let's see how these guys get on. Are we going to see patience? Are we going to be flares? Are we going to see a red ball, a ball to a red flag? Who knows? But it's going to be very, very exciting indeed. Grab your drinks, grab your popcorn, sit back, relax, and enjoy this at the best circuit in the world. I will trump Tom and not say one of the best. It is the best circuit in the world ever, and this is what we've got to look forward to. Let us know in YouTube chat who you're supporting. Don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on the bells, depending if you're on CMS or if you're on JPP, and we can pick it up and have a chat and see how we get on here as well, because I think it's going to be very, very interesting. Once again, Tom, what is important for the hypercars here around this circuit? They are clearly going to be quick. They're 111, 112, 113 in and around that area. GT3's 18 to 19 to 20, maybe a little bit as well. Traffic's going to be key here as well. What is the hypercar scenario on this one? Do they go and be patient? Do they go and be aggravated? Do they go and just hopefully try and get through and keep it on track?
Going to take no more than 12 laps for the hypercars to catch up to the GTs. So it goes back to what we were saying about track position when it comes to the pit stops. We mentioned about how long it'll be before they start pitting for the hypercars, 20 to 24 minutes. So that is pretty much just after they catch up to the GTs. So I reckon we may see some drivers, like even those in the hypercars, try and perform undercuts to help combat the traffic that they could end up getting, peeling back out in. There's going to be a mixture of strategies, I think, James, involving the whole field, in all honesty. I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as 20 to 24 minutes before they all start pitting at around about the same time. I reckon we'll see a few drivers try and gamble it.
Yeah, I'm trying to do maths, and I've got my fingers out here as well, Ross, on this one. If they go 24 minutes, 24, 48, 72, can they really make this in 3? I'm a little bit worried. If they go 20, 40, 60, 80, they're going to be on an hour and 20, and they've only got 10 minutes left, and they're going to come in for a splash, quick splash and dash and get out again. Can the hypercars eliminate that full stop, or are they going to definitely need that full stop?
I think that you're going to see some drivers here, like Ben Gorman that we see on screen here. I think that they're going to be able to, if they're in the right spot for the majority of the race, they can make it work, because once these hypercars get into traffic in that sector 2, they can cull back because they're stuck. You can't really do too much there. You can almost just shut off the engine in some cases and just coast through there because you're not going anywhere. If you've got a solid wall of GTs in front of you, you just have to sit there and deal with it. Might as well just save some fuel. And I think really smart, really good drivers that can do that are going to be the ones to be able to cut out that last stop and save themselves a transit down pit road.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how that one goes on and whether or not they're going to be able to do that, to be blatantly honest. I've got a funny feeling it's going to be a very, very close situation on fuel. Warm-up's just about coming to the end on that one. So we'll see how these guys can get on and whether or not they're going to be able to muster it. Tom, would you go hard tyres? The heat is playing a part here. Would you pick the hards at the start?
It would be sensible, but it just depends on how much you really dare at the beginning. Because what you don't want is to be on the hard tyres and then getting, well, basically involved in an incident where you can end up flat spotting your tyres as a consequence, and that just throws away a set of the hard compounds, what you would want to have for later on in the race. It's a tricky one. I think if you're at the front of the field, if you're in the hypercar, you'd probably want to go in the softs just to sort of get the best temperature possible. And that might force your hand, though, in making that fourth stop, because if you go all out at the beginning on the soft compound, you're looking at potentially pitting in around about 15 minutes into this one.
All right, well, let's see what goes on here as well. So it's going to be very, very exciting for you. The grid will be up very, very shortly. We're just waiting for them to get on. and then we can bring you up the grid on that one. It's going to be one of these races, ladies and gentlemen, that you do not want to miss, because I can tell you now it's going to be absolutely epic. I think this is going to have more drama than an episode of Friends, and trust me, that has loads of it through the 25 minutes, Ross. Doesn't it? To be honest with you, it does. Definitely does. But I think we're going to get that here today, Ross. I think there's going to be a lot of drama.
Yeah, I mean, there certainly will be. It's such a fast and exciting track. I mean, even if you're just turning quick laps on here, it's a driver's track. You just love it. I mean, even though this is a shorter version, if you look back towards, I think it's around the 70s and beforehand, when they ran a further outer loop that came up where the current Senna S's are and hooked all back in on itself. It's wild. But yeah, I think, Tom's talking about it where it's got these faster laps, and yeah, there's going to be some great overlap for sure.
All right, let's bring you up the starting order. Why these cars go round on this grid is Axel Laflamme on pole, with Ben Borman in second. Tom Lane dragging that Ferrari to third, and Timon Suvic in the Toyota is sitting in fourth place. Moving on, Johnny Gutierrez sitting there with his Cadillac in fifth. Then it's Magnus Dahlgren. George Angelidis leading the AMS. This man is flying. Is it his season? Well, he's got Alan Smith alongside him. Michael Lock in 10th, then it's Gilles Lalonde, Jerry Chen and Norm Graff in that Aston Martin Valkyrie. I saw the Valkyrie at Goodwood, the car. Oh, dude. Ooh, Mufasa. Vinicius Goncalves in 13th, then Eric Monet in 14th, Hubert van Gashoven and Dean Clark rounding out at 16th in their Cadillacs. Going to be interesting there. Moving into the GT3s, Dan Kirby, Davision in the Lexus, Alan Holden, then it's JT Tammy in the Lexus. 2 Lexuses in the top 4. They're flying this season. Love it. Then we got Brian Hall, oh my God, words, James, words. Vasilius Kataranakis, then John Uyan and Maximilian Petravki rounding out the 24th runner. Then it's Matthew Overton, Stephen Miller and Daryl Kruger rounding out the back end with the 3 AMs. That is it, ladies and gentlemen, on this grid. We see the hypercars have got a big old space going on there, and they're going to sit back and completely try and run this out. Can anyone get rid of that 4th stop? I don't know if they can. I've tried to do maths, but I haven't got enough fingers and toes out to be able to do them all, and I've got a funny feeling they might not be able to get rid of it. But let's see what some of them play. Is Ben Borman going to be the fuel-saving master that Ross told us he is? Well, we're going to find out. Not long to go, ladies and gentlemen, now as well on this racetrack. They are coming through the right-hander, through Bico de Pado, I believe they're at the moment, and then it's up all the way down through Mugello, down through Juncao. Now, when you look at this corner, after that curb, they can go to the right a little bit. I'm pretty sure that is allowed within track limits to open up Juncao. Then it's that long run straight up the hill, through the start-finish straight, over the line, and we go in once again into turn number 1. But let's see what happens here with the hypercars. We'll pick up on the GT3 start very, very shortly, but it's Axel Laflamme coming up the road at this moment in time. He is out in front. Can he get away? Can he do a master performance in that Valkyrie? The one that's got more wings on it than anything here as well. Mr. Reese is in YouTube chat. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. But there is that back end of that Valkyrie. We're coming up to the line, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your hats, because we're going to be green, green, green right now. It's a roar. The camera shakes in pure anger as these cars go down into turn 1. Laflamme straight in, goes in deep, gets a wiggle. The car behind him, Ben Borman, gets a wiggle on as well. Then it's Tom Lane tucked in. There's drama in the back end. Drama in the back end. Monet's involved in that one. Lots of drama kicking off further back, and I can tell you now, it's going to be all about where the GT3s are. They're coming down into turn 1. Dan Kirby out in front, leads the way. David Jun, did the hypercars get out the way? No, they're on the side. They're on the side. They're parked there, Ross. Not a good start from them hypercars at all.
No, that looked like I want to say it was Hubert van Gashoven who might have been involved with that. Either that or his teammate, Alan. And it looks like Vinicius Goncalves was the other one in there. Yeah, it was Alan Smith, Michael Lock, and Vinicius Goncalves. This is a disaster for them right after the first corner.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can have a look back and see.
Yeah. And that was the worst for George because he was looking to cement his lead going into this. And unfortunately, that's going to give Jerry Chen the opportunity he needs to be able to claw his way back up. And George doesn't have his teammate Zach in this race, I don't believe. So it's just going to be down to those two just butting heads to try and gas as many points as they can coming through the end of this.
Was basically tucked in the pit lane on that one, Ross. So let's see how these guys get on. But it's Axel Flam out in front. Norm Graff leading the AMS at the moment. Dan Kirby leading the GT3 Pros. Matty Overton leading the GT3 AMS. Tom, not a good start for some of these guys.
Absolutely not. Absolute mayhem at the Sanarás, and we saw a driver go like basically sideways on its side, a bit like Top Gear style if you ask me. At a supermarket, I'm sure some of you will know which feature I'm talking about. Oh, and that looks like a car in the barrier at Bacon de Panso. Didn't quite see who it was. It's the one behind Overton, so it has to be Kasuinakis.
Yeah, looks like it, but he's still running. I'm wondering. Angelina's spin off again. Kataranakis has been off again. Hold on, this is all getting a little bit messy.
No, and I'm going to try and do my best not to talk about the car in the lead of this pack because he yelled at me the last time I did, since it turned his fortunes against him as he's getting a little bit pressure there from Tom Lane. And now Gutierrez has pulled up into this fight. Both of those drivers are going to be very quick. I think Ben's going to do all he can to keep them at bay while also trying to conserve resources. This is going to be real close.
Yeah, absolutely is. There you can see Lane just holding on from Gutierrez. Timon Suvic tucked in behind in that beautiful, I got to be honest, I don't really like Red Bull liveries normally, but God blimey, look at Suvic's livery. It looks like a shiny little missile there as well. And he's sitting in behind. You've got Magnus Dahlgren in behind him in the same style as well. That looks absolutely amazing for the boys there, and I got to praise them on that one. Fair play, lads. That looks absolutely epic as these guys go in an absolute full bore ding-dong Julia fight, Michael Tyson, Evander Holyfield style. Knuckles out, let's see who goes on. Suvic sweeps around the outside of Pico de Pado, gets the job done over Gutierrez, moves up a place. Can he keep up with Tom Lane? Tom, this is an absolute epic battle with these 5 cars we're going to have in this one.
All of this is helping Axel Laflamme to shoot further and further up the distance as well. So this is the dream scenario for him at this point. But what we're seeing at the moment is absolutely phenomenal, involving Borman and Lane. Lane having sort of drift sideways through the centre S last time around. But we can see they're in single file this time. I think they know that the long game may have to be the game they play here. Although Borman made a mistake through the centre S, so Lane may be able to get a run this time around on the Retro Poster.
Yeah, here we go now. Tucked in right behind him at the moment. Tom Lane, which way are you going to go, son? Are you going to dive him on the inside? Are you not? You thought about it, then you pull back out in through the left-hander. Now it's running up the hill here, ladies and gentlemen, as well. Up the hill into the fast right-hander of Ferradora. Then it's going to be looking out on the right-hand side through the kink of the right, in through Laranahara. Then you're going to point it out that tree. You're going to hit the thing. You're going to hit the brakes through the right-hander. You go in through SA. Now you're wiggling in through Pinorino, through the left-hander again, very, very slow. Aiming it on the right-hand side here, keeping to that curb, looking up the inside. No, nothing doing this time for Tom Lane. Dives up the right-hander. He's now going to try and go around the outside. This is going to be very interesting. Tucks in behind Borman once more. In through Junkao. He's going to go. He's going to... Oh, he didn't go. Ross, it looks like Tom Lane's on a mission here. He's trying and trying and trying. Ben Borman just not let him through.
No, and he needs to get by Ben if he's going to make any kind of work or progress towards Axel Laflamme, because right now Ben Borman's on that hard compound, which again, it is a little bit slower out the gate. That's why you're seeing so much pressure right here. But as soon as those tires kind of click in, once he gets some more heat in there, it's usually around, 4 to 6 laps ish. He's coming into that window, I'd say, about this point. Those tires then start to work really well, and you've got grip for quite a bit. Meanwhile, the medium tires, especially on those all-wheel cars, which are basically the two right behind them right now, they start to fade a little bit. Now, that all-wheel drive might be able to give them a little bit more life with it, since they can just kind of force their way through. But I think Tom and probably Suvik as well, they're going to start using up their resources a little bit faster than Ben. And we'll see how that strategy works out, if Ben's able to just kind of maintain pace and then start working his way back towards Axel Laflamme, who looks like he's working pretty well right now. 1:21.131 for his last lap. He's flying.
Yeah, absolutely he is at the moment. Laflamme out in front by 6 seconds, and you can see the guys in behind. Borman, Lame, Suvik, Gutierrez, not very far apart. Hypercar AMS, Graf leading the way by Monet, 1.8 seconds and extending. Goncalves is out. Kirby, GT3, 2.6 over Holden. Overton and Kataranakis are the next closest battle in that GT3 AMS. You can see the hypercars are coming through already. That's another separation for them. You can see in the background, there's Kataranakis. He gets close to Overton, has that Mustang, Tom. Got the power in the corners, though. It's quick on the straights, we know that, but it is Matty Overton out in front in that Ferrari. Can that Ferrari hold on from the Mustang?
So the Mustang straight line speed compares to that all the way down here. It doesn't quite go for it that time. It wasn't exactly alongside enough really to mount a challenge. But this GT battle is going to go on throughout the whole race. We know that for absolutely certain. They'll be doing less pit stops because they're doing less laps than what the hypercars are doing. But it's making sure they stay out of the way of the hypercars, because when they go quick round here, they go blindly quick. It's unreal.
Yeah, but as Ross knows, they don't have to get out of the way, do they, Ross?
As you very well know, yeah. They don't have to.
Ross, I do. Me and you at Le Mans were not friends, Ross Smith.
No comment. But yeah, you've got the hypercar leaders coming up on them right now. And did I see that right? Is Laflamme back behind them, or was I just
No, you're dreaming there, son. He's still in front.
Okay, I just saw a bunch of colors there. But yeah, Ben Borman here now coming up through, leading that battle pack we were watching before, and he squeezes around the outside. So Matthew Everton getting swallowed by those hypercars.
Oh,
yeah, they're
nearly Suvik went to follow Borman around the outside. Poor old Matty Overton, sorry there, Ross, was stuck in no man's land. He didn't know where to go. He's now up the inside. There's a big wiggle. Through he goes. No, Timon Suvik twerking his butt off. Harder than Christina Aguilera at the moment in time, I can tell you that much. Borman's trying to shift through. He's trying to get through this traffic. He needs somebody in between him and Tom Lane, and now he's got it. He's got that Corvette, Tom, sat there at the moment. Lane's lost time. Is this Borman's opportunity to run away, Tom?
Well, we'll see soon enough. I mean, the gap is now 6 seconds between Laflamme and Borman as they go up the hill. There is Borman in that white-ish livery in the Acura, going past one of the GTs.
Oh no, he's spun
not this lane!
He caught it.
I do wonder whether or not he got a double tap there. I wonder if he tapped, because that Lexus is causing a drama. He is causing a drama. And I think there might be, if I'm not mistaken, either David Shunt or JT Tammy. That Lexus is, yeah, I think it's JT. It is JT.
Yeah.
Lexus causing a little bit of drama. Let's have a look back and see how Tom Lane held on to that one. A constant fight here at this moment in time, Ross, with these cars trying to deal with traffic. We said traffic was going to be an issue. We said it all day, and it looks like it's coming true.
Yeah, and JT Tammy has especially made his presence known within the community and how he feels with hypercar crimes against GTs, and he will firmly stand his ground and stay on his line. And as we saw, sometimes taking even more just to prove his point, as I believe that was Magnus Dahlgren who got a little shove to the inside coming around turn 14 and 15. So yeah, I mean, that's where I think hypercars early on are going to want to try and curry some favor, because if you just keep rattling away on some of these GTs and you're taking more tarmac than what you're probably allotted, they're going to strike back, and it's going to be at a very inopportune time. So this is where I think multi-class racing gets very interesting for me anyway, because you have relationships that develop over the course of the season and a race, and you can see how they totally unfold and kind of change the landscape of the race.
Yeah, absolutely, it does there as well. Lane manages to clear Kirby. In behind that, Suvik manages to as well. Dahlgren 2.6 seconds back at this moment in time. Norm Graf leading the out Hypercar AMS. Kirby out in front, still in the GT3 Pros. Matty Overton now opened a nice little comfy gap at this moment in time over Vasilias Kataranakis. It looks like Alan Smith has gone off track. Kataranakis in the pit lanes. Well, I think he's running over the pit lane line now. I don't believe he actually has gone in this early. I'll be very surprised. You can see how hard Suvik's working it there, Tom. He come through out of turn number 4, and he was a big old sideways slide there for Timon.
Yep, it was going downhill as well, so that kind of helped with the slide to help him guide through up towards Larrahinya. But this is a chance for Suvik to really put some pressure on Tom Lane at this point now. Following Lane's mistake, and imagine some confidence may be knocked after the coming together with JT Tammy at the corner, which we've just gone through now. But right on board with Timon Suvik as he takes us through the left-hander of Magulio, and then it's Yun Sao that they had. Oh, wide moment there for Suvik there. It took a little bit more than he would have wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. On that one, now he's up the hill through the left-hander. Did anybody figure out what turn 15 is called here? I'm sure I've mentioned it before. Does anybody know what turn 15 is called? If you do, let me know, and I want the translation. Can you tell me what turn 15 is called here as well? It wasn't named before they took it away, and now it's just turn 15. Let me know what you think it is in YouTube chat on that one. It's a little bit of trivia on this, but this has worked out well for Borman. He is now motored off up the road at this moment in time. He's done an absolute stellar job. Multi-class splits on the left-hand side. You can see Borman now has got 3.7 seconds, 1.2 with Gutierrez and Lane. Suvik half a second near enough behind them in the fight. It's going to be very, very interesting. Hubert van Gashoven Ross sitting down in 13th overall behind the Hypercar AMS. That's an interesting one.
Well, yeah, and like I said, he's shown that he can have pace. He had that rocky start to begin with. He was involved in that lap 1 incident. So I think he might even have some damage he's contesting with, but I know that he's trying to feel out the way the car behaves. And I will say, having driven it, that ARX-06 is a complicated car at best. It can be very fast, but if you don't have a setup that is 100% what you want it to be and compliant with your driving style on the track, it can definitely get out of hand very quickly. And I think that he's probably just trying to feel it out. He's probably going off the notes from his teammate Alan Holden, and they're just trying to see what they can do to make this race. And he hasn't been in too many races so far, so I mean, he's just trying to get to grips with the way that the procedure is, the way cars are, or the drivers on the track. We'll see how it. Oh, what is this?
That's Gutierrez.
That's Gutierrez, yeah.
Just pulled over and stopped. Yeah, technical issue maybe.
I think you might be right. I think it's going to be on that one as well. For Gutierrez, he's stopped. He's down the order in pit lane. Jerry Chen's going to come through. He's got Eric Monet tucked in behind him. Mr. Reese, you absolute superstar. I would like to remind you, Mr. Reese, you do actually win nothing. All right, just props for knowing the fact that turn 15 is called Aquibancadas, known as the bleachers. Why is it known as the bleachers though, Mr. Reese? What is it that makes that seat so good out in turn 15? Can you tell me on that one, if anybody's got any idea? But it is Aquibancadas. Well done, Mr. Reese. And say you absolutely win nothing. Maybe you get Ross to send you some sweets. I don't know. We'll see how he does. Is he? Does Is he flush enough on this one to send you some sweets? Russ, do you have money in the bank to send Mr. Reese some sweets?
I will send him some sweets for being just such a consistent fan of the series. He comes by to every race, I think. So it's great to have every single time.
Absolutely. Are you in the UK or US, Mr. Reese? Let me know on that one, because if you're in the UK, then it's probably down to me to send you sweets, because it's probably if you're in the US, well, Ross can do it all day. Tom Lane, T-Mod Subic still battling it out in the hypercars on that one. Karanakis, this is interesting for Vasilius at the moment. That Mustang has dropped away from Matty Overton and he's now got another problem, and Maximilian Petravsky tucked in behind him at the moment. So Karanakis has got his own issues going on here, Tom. And at the moment, he's now dropped into the clutches of Maximilian Petravsky. That Mustang's struggling a bit.
And we know how much Petravsky can be very, very feisty in a situation like this. Is he looks to just go one way and then switch to the other and then just pull out alongside the initial way. So it's like go left, then right, and then back to the left again. That's how deceiving drivers can be sometimes when they're absolutely trying to dummy the driver ahead, and he's pushed the Mustang into a mistake there, and that should be all Petravsky needs to pull alongside and go through by the time they get to the seed of the Largo.
Yeah, absolutely. Petravsky is free. Oh, Mr. Reese, you have either been on Google or Gemini AI is serving you well. This turn takes its name from the huge stands full of fans that cheer every single car and every single lap with an unrivaled sense of passion and enthusiasm. That is AI all day, Mr. Reese, I'm not going to lie. And Concalves is right. From turn 15, you can actually see, I think it's something of about 80% of the racetrack. But he is also right, it's the cheapest place to watch the race. You can see the most amount of racetrack, hence the bleachers. The bleachers are normally the ones, well, they call them the nosebleed seats, where you're like right at the top from the track. And if you're watching baseball, every player looks like they're just a stick man. But they are the cheapest, but you can see the most amount of track there, Ross. Did you know that?
I do now, and Vinicius would know since, sort of, well, I wouldn't say hometown per se, but he's probably the closest of anyone here that with the most experience. But yeah, it's for this race, it's sort of been a little bit of chaos corner as the hypercars are coming up with GTs. And yeah, like you were saying, Basilis was waning. I'm wondering if maybe he caught some damage from that early incident where he was trying to avoid those hypercars.
Yeah, I think you might be right on that one as well. Oh, Mr. Reese is in Australia. Yes, that's my job.
Austria.
Austria, sorry. Austria's on Australia. He's down under, upside down. I guess that's actually probably my job to send you some sweets. So me and Ross will team up. So pop me over your address in Discord and we'll send you over. What's your favourite sweets, mate, that I can get in the UK? We'll pop them over just for being part of the CMS community and being here every single race as well. It's all from the Mercedes F1 website. They have a blog post about the turns at Interlagos. Oh, Mr. Reese, look at you doing research here on an afternoon. I'd like to point out Tom Lane has gone off the racetrack. He has just lost places to Timon Suvic on that one. Concalves is gone, but we'll have a look back and see what Tom Lane did. They're very, very close. Contact. Yeah, a little bit of a side elbow there. Him and Suvic. Don't Suvic's livery look absolutely amazing? I'm well impressed with that. Fair play to him on that one.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Audi LMP1 that you used to race at Le Mans many years back. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Tom.
Wasn't that on the CLK that went upside down?
Still similar silver, but this one has, I can't remember where those stripes are from, if those are just, I mean, they're colors.
No, they are off a car, aren't they, if I remember correctly? I need Alex Goldschmidt at this moment in time. He'll be able to tell me what car and track that run out and what gear it was used on the livery. He is like an encyclopedia of sports car racing on that one, so I need him from there. Apparently Mr. Reese loves kangaroos, however they look buff superhumans when grown. I have seen videos of this going on at the moment where people are trying to take on kangaroos. I'm not really sure if that's a good idea because they do look like they would punch the living daylights out of a human being. However, I did see a kangaroo who was flirting with a kid in a zoo behind like a fence, who was there smiling and then flexed up, and his missus come along and chopped him straight in the face, and this poor old male kangaroo went flat on his back. So yeah, if the wife can hit that hard, I definitely don't want any part of a kangaroo. I've got to be honest. Stay away from the kangaroos, everyone. They are dangerous. Let's just put it in that one. Right, let's get back to racing as we diverted off to kangaroos in the middle of Australia. somewhere while racing's going on. Tom Lane has got a huge amounts of pressure from Suvic through Kataranakis to go in through Biko to Pado, which literally translates into duck beak. Then through the left-hander, down they go in through Mugello. Now it's coming into Juncal. Oh no, don't wait. Good boy. Tom Lane feeling about it there. That car got all out of sorts. Now it's up the hill again. This is going to open up the door with Suvic tucked in right behind him at the moment. Let's have a look from Tom Lane's point of view. We want Suvic, we don't want Lane. Now he's tucked in. It's going to be a draft run. Lane's in the middle of the track. Suvic trying to go around the outside. No. Tuck him in deep on the inside. Goes to the left. And unfortunately, not this time for Team on Suvic there, Tom, but he's looking racy.
Yeah, he's having to drift his way through turn 2 just to try and get a good run on him, but he was on the wrong side of turn 1. He should have just stayed single file with him, then go out a little wide. And that's the car in the barrier in the background.
Oh, that's Norm Graff. Norm Graff in the wall. Oh, Norm. He's not having a good time back there. We'll have a look back at that very, very shortly here as well. Mr. Rees coming in with all sorts of facts at this moment in time. Fair play to him. But I do believe there's actually 4-1 of kangaroos more than humans in Australia. So if the kangaroos start a war, the humans are losing. Let's put it that way. Dan Kirby holding the line in through Pinarino. Lane trying to go round him at the moment. Can't get through. He's now going to try and run him around the outside into Biko. Suvic tucked in. Kirby still holding the line there as well. Let's have a look back and see what happened to, I believe, it might have even been Maximilian Petravsky. Who's got...
Look like a white, yeah. Yeah, he wasn't moving right away, so if he is, yeah, he's straight out from that one. That was a hard hit. That would take out any car, even with 75% damage.
Absolutely. Angelidis climbing all over the back of Monet here. Angelidis suffering from the lap 1 drama through the center S. He's now closed onto the back of Monet. He wants to be the bride. Can he finally get his wedding dress here in CMS? Will he finally get it? Will he be able to say, I do? Or is he going to be the bridesmaid holding the ring once more? Ross, can he get that wedding dress? Can he hold the ring this time around this season?
He's going to put the pressure on Moynier, which I have to apologize. I didn't see his name on the list before, but that is Jerry's teammate. So they're definitely going to maximize their team points. So right now, George has to do everything he can to kind of keep them at bay. And I think the only thing that's going to do that is going to be first place. And, man, Moynier put a lot of pressure on him through there.
Jerry Chen squeezing him harder than an orange and a juicer on that one. You can see pit lane on the left-hand side. Norm Graff has been in, Chen's been in, Dahlgren's been in as well. You can see Jerry still sat in pit lane at this moment in time. He's just on his way out, which is great for us. But Jerry Chen drops all the way down to 12th overall, 5th in class. Borman's in. Laflamme is the first one in. Borman's in further up the road, but it should be Axel Laflamme who can get serviced and get out first before any drama for him. What an early start this, Tom. We're 1 minute 4 in. They've managed to go about 25 and a little bit minutes here on that pit stop. Is that enough to get rid of the final one?
It's enough to get 3 stops done. So I would say now they are pretty much going to be doing a 3-stop from here on in. It looks like Angelidis is making their way into pit road. He's had enough of being fighting it out with Eric Monet, who pushed him onto the grass at Retro Aposta, which I thought was a little naughty in my book. But anyway, that battle is over for the time being. And Angelidis has come into the pit lane, and someone else has come out of the...
Borman's on his way
now,
out.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Borman's on his way out. Monet's taking the overall lead there. But Borman comes out in front of Axel Laflamme. Oh, Laflamme did not have a good pit stop there, Ross. He's come out behind Ben Borman.
I think he changed tires, which he's running on those mediums. Like I said, Borman does not have to change as he's over there on the hards. So I think this is where strategy is going to diverge, and we're going to see how this plays out.
I think we are on that one. I cannot believe the Australians had a war against emus and lost. That's very interesting there, Mr. Rees, on that one. I love that. Love the YouTube participation this afternoon with the pointless facts on that one. But let's see how we go. We've got Dean Clark pit lane, Angelidis pit lane, Gashoven pit lane. Axel Laflamme's got a job to do now, Tom. He's got Ben Borman up the road and he's come out behind him. Tyres playing a part, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So this is where the different strategies are going to come to play here and be a talking factor in how this race is going to be decided. So we'll see how that plays out. Laflamme, who missed the opening rounds of the season, actually, up to this point. So he's got some catching up to do. There are a couple of drop scores at the end of the season to consider, which Ben Kesby, who would be around, is not around this evening. He's only missed a couple of races, thinking of it. So this is his third one, of which he is absent for. But for Axel Laflamme, who missed the opening 2 rounds before he joined Imola this season, he's got some catching up to do. So, you know, this championship is going to go one way or another here, as we see Laflamme there trying to get through on the Mustang at the Descida de Lago there. Almost like he a little bit undecided as to which way it was going to go.
Yeah, through Kataranakis he goes here. You can see there, that is Kataranakis in the background. Suvic is behind Laflamme, then Tom Lane is behind Timon Suvic. So another man that's lost out in pit lane. You see lots of people in and out of the pits at this moment in time. Changing tyres adds 25 seconds to the pit stop. Ross, do you know if that's roughly accurate? Because I don't think Laflamme was 20 seconds in front, was he?
I think, well, if the gap was maintained, he was around 6 or so when Ben Borman was finally breaking away from the battle pack. So that, yeah, I would say like around 12, 15 seconds there might be the gap. He may not have changed all 4. It could have just been right sides. You know, it's using a bit more, although this track is fairly even wear. So I'd have to double check on it to see if he had anything changed there. But that would be my guess, is that he would switch over on mediums. Like you said in the beginning with the cards, it is a high deg track. So if you're running those mediums, which let's check the temperature, we are actually, the track temp's gone down. It's now 42. So still kind of around that crossover point. It might be a little bit warm for mediums, again, depending on how hard he was pushing it. I don't know. We'll see how much he closes the gap down here. There he is in the background.
Yeah, Monet's lost time to Ben Borman. I think there is a certain amount of fuel saving going on from Eric Monet, to be blatantly honest with you. He's lost time to Borman. Borman's gone through, and now he's into the clutches of Laflamme. Laflamme's just coming around the corner before the one he's at now, before Pittarino. There's Laflamme in the background in that recognisable livery. So Monet trying to hold on as long as possible. He's still not pitted, I like to point out. I would have thought he cannot go much longer. If he's doing half an hour runs, he might be able to get this down to 2, but that is going to be a battle and a half, Tom.
Isn't it, Justin? We're approaching the half an hour mark of this one now. So let's see if he decides to come into the pit lane. He looks like he is, yeah, he's coming in. So it's right on point there with, you know, the point of making a 2 stop at work. So by the time he comes out, there'll be less than an hour remaining. So it's going to be pretty tight, depending on maybe when the final lap is going to take place. Because if the clock reaches, let's say, 2 or 3 seconds to go, and the leader starts its final lap, that's going to really take its toll on the fuel there, I think, for Monet.
To be blatantly honest with you, he wants to get over the line as the leader comes over at about 29 minutes. So he's only got 1 more lap to try and deal with. He is in pit lane now, and it has been 30 minutes on the pit cycle for Eric Monet, which is a great little going for him. So we'll see how he gets on and whether or not he could take another 30-minute stop. We'll keep an eye on Monet. That should be round about the half an hour mark for Eric Monet, but he is going to have a long old pit stop, filling that car right up. He's on his way out now in pit lane. Out of pit lane he comes. It's been quite a while for Eric Monet, but he's now back on the racetrack. Can he go another half an hour? Well, we're going to find out. Back down in the GT3s, David Jun currently at this moment in time. He is battling away, trying to catch up with Alan Holden. You can see the gap to the fastest lap time there. Jun was faster last time out. Oh, Alan Holden faster this time out. So that kind of neutralized the last lap from, oh God, what am I doing? From Alan Holden on that one. They're kind of drawing, but at this moment in time, David Jun sitting in 3rd place there as well. Going to keep an eye out and see what goes on. Eric Monet just got a penalty. Is that right, Tom?
I thought I saw a notification at the top of the screen, and I would assume that'll be for pit lane speeding.
I believe that might be for coming out of pit lane. Ross, what is it for a penalty in RF2? What's the situation? Do they have to go drive through, or do they have to stop and
Drive through. Yeah, it's a drive through. Unless there's some other infraction or something like that, and be a stop and go. But I think for track extensions and for pit road speeding, it is just a pass through.
Not going to hinder him though, is he? Because he's going to be running at slower speed. But Eric Monet, is that more fuel saved?
Well, sort of will be, yes. Wow, it comes to he's really being careful on the entrance. I wondered about that because he was slowing down a bit, but you can see George coming around in the background now, so he's going to get this move done. That's such a shame too, because he managed to gap George by about 15 seconds, which was pretty impressive if he was doing that much savings. He might be able to make it back though, because like we were saying, if he can skip that last stop, although that transit didn't help him, he could get it back.
You say it didn't help him, but in regards to fuel, he isn't burning full fuel, so maybe that might help him. But we'll see how he gets on. There goes Axel Laflamme on Monet. That's put him a lap back from the leaders at this moment in time. You can see the gap to the leader on the left-hand side in class at the moment. And Monet is currently he is basically in third place, I believe, in the Hypercar AMS, 46 seconds back from the leader, 14 seconds back from Angelidis. But the stops, Ross, are not 14 seconds, they're longer than that. So has Monet managed to still stay within contact of Angelidis?
He's not terribly far away as far as this will go, although it's showing, what was that, 40-some seconds there? It's a big difference unless those are times to the leader.
They are.
Which
I did just mention that.
I have to recalibrate. He's within striking distance still, and since he won't have to do as much fuel at the end, I mean, even if he's maintaining that same pace, which is kind of looking down at the order, he's right there with George on time.
He's in again.
In terms of fast.
He's in again. Yeah.
What's going on for Eric Monet?
That's a disaster. It must not have given it to him, or he got another one sequentially.
Oh, Monet's race, after doing a 30-minute stint, is now just unravelled. Now he's stopping.
Yeah.
What is
so he basically
going
served
on?
the wrong penalty.
It might be. If he had track extensions, then it might be that he needed to serve that. That can be very confusing too, especially if you get multiple penalties, because you have to go. Yeah, that was definitely serving a penalty, a stop and go.
Oh, Monet's race is just unravelling as it goes on here. We were just talking like he was in contact from...
And he's got another one.
Oh.
He's got...
What's he got this time? He's popping penalties all over the place.
I wonder if he was coming out of pit road too fast. If he
park it
too quickly.
Park it, get your slippers on, get your blanket, watch the stream, Eric.
There's still points at
No,
stake
park
here.
it out, Ross. I'd have had enough by now. That would have been it. 3 penalties in a row for Eric Monet, or is that 4 now? I've even lost count. I'm only going to 3.
It's 3.
And I'd put that be it. I'd be had enough now. If RF2 were playing tricks like that, I'd have just gone right knickers to this. I've got better things to do on my Saturday afternoon than worry about picking up 3 penalties in a row and just watching me race unravel faster than my son pulling toilet roll, to be blatantly honest. For some reason, he feels like he's got a big old butt and goes through a whole roll every time he's on the loo. But for me, I would literally park it out for Eric Monet. Done. That'd be it. I'd had enough. It gets to that. Right, Brian Hall in pit lane. He was close to Alan Holden. Holden out in front now and clearing him at this moment in time. Stephen Miller going up the inside. That's Darrell Kruger, by the way, on the left-hand side. He's just gone overtaken by Stephen Miller in his McLaren. So Miller has gone through over Kruger in his also McLaren. But at the moment, Stephen Miller has done a great job and cleared him, moved himself up through the order into 3rd. So that's a podium for Stephen Miller on that one. Overton in pit lane, Kirby in pit lane, Monet back in pit lane. Again, at least he's getting his money's worth out of the pit lane here, Ross.
Yeah, It's really hard to see. I mean, certainly it wouldn't have been for track extensions to get it that quickly. I wonder though, maybe if he did get one afterwards. I mean, we saw the penalty on the last one as he was leaving pit road, so I'm fairly certain that it was speeding. And it's very easy to do here because it's so much slower, especially on the exit and entrance. Those are the two spots for sure where you got to slow down a ton coming in, and then just clearing that last little bit. It's very easy to get off the limiter just a little bit too early, but it looks like he's finally got it without a penalty this time. So yeah, I think maybe he just got it with track extensions, which doing that will do that for you because they're very, very strict now.
Yeah, absolutely. All of the AMs are in pit lane together. Matty Overton's the first one out. Karanakis is in there, then Kruger's in there, Miller's in there. It's going to be very close between Miller and Kruger by the looks of it. They were coming into pit lane practically together. You can see Kruger's right side up in the air at this moment in time. Is his left side as you're looking at the screen, guys. By the way, just to get my lefts and rights sorted out. Is he going to go up on the left? No, I think it's just the right that he's changed. Keep an eye, try and keep an eye on that one because I think they're going to come out very, very close. David Schunt taking the lead in the GT3 Pros, but I think that's because he hasn't pitted yet. Alan Smith is off the has been off the racetrack, but he's recovered back on 10th overall. He is behind Norm Graff, Angelidis, and Jerry Chen in the Hypercar Pros, in the Hypercar AMs. Let's have a look at a gap to the next on the left-hand side. You can see at this moment in time, Borman out in front by 11.4 seconds. Jen's got 33 over Angelidis. You can see Monet 38 back from Clark, and Clark is 30 back from Graff. So he's a long way back there at the moment. Overton out in front, 41 over Karanakis, Miller in behind him, and then Schunt has got 7 over Tammy Uyan in pit lane once more. Tom, that pit cycle, very, very interesting. Gave us a good old leaderboard shuffle.
Oh, didn't it just? No more than what happened with Ben Borman, who was able to complete an undercut on Axel Laflamme when we least expected it. So we've got a totally different race now compared to what we anticipated during the first phase of it. And there we look. That is Axel Laflamme. We're right on board, going through Pinarino, and it's the Biga de Pato which he will be heading through. I'd be intrigued to know though, when you look at the drivers on the tyres that they are on. So Ben Borman's, we've already mentioned, he's on the hards, and Laflamme is on the medium. So Laflamme can afford to just push a little bit more, whereas Borman is most likely going to be going into conservation mode. Having said that, on the last lap, Laflamme was marginally slower than Borman.
See how this one goes here. Is tyre deg, Ross, such a big thing at this racetrack? We had it on the keys to the race. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, well, it goes back to the difference in strategy with the mediums versus the hards. The hards will hold on for a very long time, and you get a fair amount of grip. And I think that, in days and races past, a lot of drivers just said, slap on the mediums and just run it to the rims. No matter what, that's a fast strategy. And we've seen some evolution in strategy with this Storm Game Simulation tire, where the mediums are definitely useful in that crossover point because, just between hards and mediums, like if it gets too hot, you want to be on the hards. You want to be able to have that grip for longer because otherwise, a track like Interlagos is going to chew those mediums to shreds very quickly, especially with the way that you've seen some of these drivers push, between the all-wheel drive cars, Bacillus and that Ford Mustang, the front tires on that thing, it's going to just chew through them as you try and keep speed up through the corners. Something like a 911, a Porsche might be able to swing through. I think the Valkyrie here might do okay, although just depending on the balance, if he's got it a little bit more towards the front, if he's just pushing that much harder and just got a lot of downforce in the front, it's going to chew through him. And I think we're seeing some of that now where, I think last lap, Ben Borman 121.6 and Axel about a second behind him.
Yeah. Well, maybe Borman's pulled a masterstroke. We're going to find out, see how he gets on. I believe, if I'm not mistaken this season, I think if Borman takes the win, this could be his first win of the season. If I'm not mistaken there, Ross.
Careful now.
I know, but isn't it going to be if he does?
He was very explicit in instructions. Don't talk about me.
Oh.
Commentator's curse is very real for him, unfortunately. So I'm going to avert my eyes while he's on screen.
All right, well, we'll just say I once knew the commentator who used to call it a commentator's coincidence. Apparently it's based on skill of the driver. So there we go. It's not our fault that why it happens, apparently. Interestingly enough, there is Kirby, there is David Junt. That GT3 Pro battle is really going to kick off now. David Junt 2.6 seconds back, Tom.
Yep. I'm just looking further down the yard, just to correct you, yes, it would be Ben Bowman's first win this season. Previous best result has been 4th in the last 2 rounds, including the Le Mans that we raced at a couple of, last month actually. But it's turning into an interesting race. We just saw David Young go into the pit lane for what could be his only stop of the race. So this is quite a blinder of a strategy that David Young's doing at the moment. And in his battle with JT Tammy for the win, or actually Dan Kirby. And I think with what David Young's doing, I don't actually blame him doing that strategy, because he probably knows that Kirby's going to do the 2-stop. If Young's going to take victory, he has to do something different.
Does, but he's got to go 47 minutes on 1 stop in these GT3s. You see the inside of that Lexus. Absolutely amazing. Well done, Ross, on that one. We'll jump on board. Oh, got nothing inside the Porsche. Bad job, Ross. Bad job. And there we go.
We're very busy with next year's historics. I'm sorry.
I'm just hearing excuses, Ross. That's all I'm hearing at the moment in time. I feel like I'm reading through a filing cabinet of excuses from you on that one. Come on, Ross. Sort it out. You can't release it into the workshop
we're
without the
always
interior
looking
done.
for volunteers to help out with the process. You know, anyone who likes sports cars, race cars in general, we're willing to take them on over at Storm Gang Simulations. So come on by if you want to learn how to do some modding and help out get these cars out in the workshop.
Ross, I'm off for 12 weeks. Please take me on. I'm bored out of my nugget. I've got to be honest. I'm literally losing my marbles. I don't know how people sit at home all day, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to be honest. If you haven't aware, I've broken my hand, and that's put me out for absolutely ages. But Ross, if you need a volunteer, please hook me up. Like, I will need training and educating. But at the moment, my day is fueled of watching Heroes on Netflix. So yeah, if you need any help there, Ross, hit me up and we'll have a chat after, because I'm just losing. I feel like I'm just absolutely losing my mind. I am not one for sitting at home, anybody, as well. So it's driving me absolutely bonkers. So Ross, I'll give it a go for you on that one and help you out. Right?
You're way too busy for that. Tom can speak to that.
I've just literally said I'm bored out my nuggets, sat at home because I ain't busy, and you tell me I'm way too busy. Definitely ain't, Ross. I promise you. No, there's only so many episodes of Heroes you can watch in a day on that one. Very great program, by the way. If anyone's not watched Heroes, go and watch it. It's very good on Netflix. I'm looking for something to bring you up here, guys, but unfortunately there ain't a lot going on after this pit stop cycle. The closest battle is Kirby, currently going with JT Tammy chasing him down. There's not a lot else happening at the moment. Angelidis is in pit lane again.
Oh.
But that, 24... Oh, that was a penalty.
Yeah, that would have been for pit lane speeding, maybe, or track limits.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Unfortunately, Angelidis is unravelling his race as quickly as well, but that has given Eric Monet a brief sense of excitement. You might actually be able to catch up with Angelidis on that one. There's been a lot of people in the pits recently. Angelidis is in, then he's out, then he's in. Foreman's out, Tammy's in and out. So I think Tammy's was a regulated stop there, ladies and gentlemen. But everybody else, I think, is just cop penalties. We did say about track limits, Ross. Are they really that tight here?
Well, they've recently been adjusted. We found that as we were doing updates to Watkins Glen, which, as you're familiar with, you know, it's used heavily by NASCAR. So the track that's available that we would typically use as pretty extensive limits, especially like through that turn 1 and coming into the penultimate corner. So that way cars can extend pretty relentlessly there. And I know that between Jerry Chen and George Angeloulis, who were pretty heavily involved with the track testing, they didn't really like that because it wasn't in line with a lot of the IMSA and WEC rules. So they worked with Don Fryman to clamp that down. And it was a very interesting result because they found that tire strategy was a lot more important because you couldn't just push the car way outside the track. You actually had to control your braking points, where you're going and everything. So it kind of culled back the strategy of some of what we call the aliens, guys who are running the fastest times. And so they transitioned that here. They tightened up the track limits to make sure that there wasn't overextending and made it work here. Jerry Chen putting a little bit of defense on. I'm not sure why he's doing that. I think, is that Magnus Dahlgren that he's defending against?
I believe it might. No, it's Suvik. Gotta be Suvik.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
it is Suvik. Not quite sure why on that one, but yeah, Suvik does go through on, I believe, did we say Monet or Jerry Jones?
It was Monet.
Monet.
Oh, I'm
It was
sorry.
Monet.
Yeah, it was Monet. I misspoke there.
Yeah, it goes through, gets the job done, big old slide through the Ret Reposta of turn 5.
Oh.
Suvik really putting that car through his paces, trying to catch up with Axel Laflamme, who's only 4 seconds up the road. That means Borman's been in pit lane. He is in pit lane at this moment in time, dropping behind Magnus Dahlgren. Gilles Lalonde in pit lane behind him, so he will be able to hold on Borman, the 5th overall. Axel Laflamme has taken the lead of the race. Carl's in YouTube chat as well, with lots of emojis. Welcome in on that one. I suppose he is a better painter than racing driver. Is that a reference to me? Because you're right, I am. I suck at driving, to be blatantly honest. I've got too much of a heavy foot, and my braking is literally about 10 feet from the corner when it needs to be a little bit longer. But we won't talk about that. We'll just move on that one. Alan Holden slowly catching up to JT Tammy here, Tom, in the GT3s, but I've got a funny feeling traffic may have played a part on that one.
Yeah, and I think we saw Laflamme go into the pit lane just as we were cut away from him. So this is an important, it's an important stop in the race. So Laflamme trying to make up for what was lost earlier after Borman had only just pitted about a lap or two ago. So let's see how quickly Laflamme turns it around here at the stop.
I'm more interested how Alan Holden has turned this one around, because he is very, very close to JT Tammy at Temerario. GT3 has got the pace over that Lexus at the moment here, and it's tucked in right behind him, Ross. That Temerario looks comfortable.
Yeah, you know, he's really come to grips with it. I do kind of feel bad for him a little bit as he's gone through the season, because I know that he's doggedly been sticking with the car, trying to extract the most pace he can. You know, he doesn't complain, he doesn't say anything bad about it. He does post his tire usage after some of the races, and it's incredible that he's able to keep driving it with his little tires left on the thing. But yeah, he's pushing right now. He's right on the back of JT Tammy, who's fallen a little bit off pace here. I would expect him to be a little closer to the curb here, or at least ahead of jump, but I guess we'll see that coming up here since his teammate David is in the pits right now getting service.
Yeah, it's got to be, I think there's going to be one more stop out of the GT3s. That hypercar behind, fair play. Whoever that is, fair play. He's just sat behind these GT3s. Through he goes on the right-hand side.
Graf.
Watch, yeah, Graf goes through. Fair play on that one, because he sat there waiting. Oh, that Temerario did have a nice little bit of a slide there, unfortunately, as we're on board with him. But doing well for Alan Holden, sticking in with this car, extracting the most out of it, and he's reaping the rewards. But that, Tom, I suppose, comes with practice. You stay in the same car over and over and over again, you get used to how it drives.
Yeah, 100%. He would have been practicing that on many different circuits whenever he's had the chance to do so. But when I looked at the times on the previous lap compared to the one they've just done, Holden was a couple of seconds quicker compared to Yunt. On the last lap they've just done now, I can tell you that the time difference would have been, well, it's nearly a second actually. So Holden clearly has more confidence in his machine compared to JT Tammy. It feels like the Lamborghini seems to have a good handle on this racetrack compared to its counterparts.
Yeah, it definitely does. JT Tammy seems to be struggling in that Lexus at the moment in time. Norm Graf, unfortunately, has been off the racetrack. It does look like he's still running in the lead of the Hypercar AMS. 14 seconds now over Jerry Chen. What is he away from Angelidis at this moment in time? He is 40. What has he got back from Angelidis? 50 seconds from George Angelidis there. As we see in that Hypercar AMS, Norm Graf doing a great job. Great patience from Norm coming through that wiggly section of turn 2 of section 2, and in pit lane goes Norm Graf. Get it stopped, son. We've seen this drama with Eric Monet. You ended up with penalty after a penalty after a penalty, but Alan Holden tucked up the rear end of JT Tammy. Over the line they go. Camera shaking with the speed of these cars. Temerario going up the inside, got the job done over JT. Holden drags that Lamborghini, Ross, now third in class.
Yeah, great job by Alan. He's really been putting in the time with that one. The Lexus is a little bit of a mystery for me because it can look so strong at some points in the race, and then it can kind of fall off here. Although JT might be pulling a bit of a strategy. He might just be being defensive and holding on to resources to see if he can kind of make up some time here for the final stop of the race. Like you said, it's coming up here very shortly.
Yeah, Suvik, I believe, goes up the inside. I'm going to take that as Suvik. It could be Dahlgren. It could be one of them. Through the right-hander we go. Let's have a look at him on board. What's he doing on the way into the corner? Oh, he ain't really lifted and coasted on board at the moment with JT Tammy. Through the left-hander we go again of Pinarino. Up into Bico de Pado. Brake at the trees on the right-hand side. That seems to be the braking point for pretty much most cars I've seen go around Sao Paulo. Down the hill through Mugello, then into Juncal. That Tamarario does pull away a little bit. Tammy looks like he may have been struggling. There's a hypercar up the inside. I think that might be George. Jerry Chen, sorry. Up he goes. Thank you, Ross, for that one. And away he goes as well. But yeah, at the moment, JT Tammy not quite got to grips of that Lexus. I can tell you one man who has got to grips of his class at the moment, Matty Overton. 37 seconds out in front for that Dark Thunder Racing Ferrari. So fair play to Matty there. Don't forget, obviously, in the point standing, Dark Thunder are tied with Daryl Kruger and Maximilian Petravsky. Now, Petravsky is DNF'd. Kruger is down in 4th place, so he's not even on the podium at the moment. So for currently at this moment in time, if Matty Overton wins, it's 25 points. And at the moment, you can see there, for Daryl Kruger, it's only 12. So that will put Dark Thunder out in front going into the next race. Fair play to Dark Thunder on that one. They're going to be going into the lead of the teams at Road America. So a good job from them guys. So fair play to Matty Overton. Done a great job at this moment in time, leading that class by 36 seconds. If I'm not mistaken, it is the biggest lead in any of the 4 classes. On the left-hand side, you can see Kirby's got 13 over Jun. Jen's got 31 over Angelidis. So Borman's got 21 over Suvik. Laflamme's been in pit lane again. Now, theoretically, Tom, that should be one more for the hypercar, shouldn't it?
Yeah, so he's probably wanted to put a full tank of fuel to go to the end. That would be my assumption, but that'll be a tall order, I think, to go and do.
36 minutes for a hypercar, Ross. Is it possible?
Well, we saw them come in at both him and Borman were around the 42 and 41 minute mark, respectively. So they should be lined up right about with, I would say, within the next 10 plus minutes. They'll be coming in for the final stop. So I think both of them, at least for fuel, should be about right. And notice he's got the red bands, at least on the front. I didn't check the rear tires, but he's switched strategies. He's hards all the way around. So he's adopted to what Ben Borman was doing. As you see, I think that's was that Clark who just dove off? I think in front of him in the hypercar there in that Cadillac.
I'm going to correct you a little bit there, Ross, because Axel Flam's not long been out of pit lane. I think when we picked up on him, he was just going out of pit lane, I believe. Mr. Reese's, anyway, our very own Ted Kravitz, he says one more pit stop for all hypers. I believe you might be right. Dean Clark is in pit lane. Hubert van Gashoven is also in pit lane. Gashoven changing tyres there. It does look like he's up in the air. Dan Kirby, not seen much of him this afternoon, Tom. He's just been going about his business in the GT3 Pros and has opened up a 14-second gap at the moment.
Yeah, and who can blame him? He's been in a league of his own in the class so far in this one. Of course, there's still a long way to go. He's due to pit in again before this race is over. Remember, David Young pitted in just before half race distance, and he's going to try and go to the end if he can, but he will need to save some fuel, I'd have thought, between the pit stop he's had and the checker flag.
I think there's one more coming. for GT3s. The only one I am going to be interested in see is what is this man going to do? The man who had 3 penalties, went half an hour on his first fuel run, so technically he's got about another 3 minutes, and he should come in again, but has the penalties extended his lap because he would have saved fuel going through the penalties due to the fact he's not running on full speed. We saw him drive through the pit lane twice, then we saw him stop and go. Can he make this work? It's going to be interesting at the moment for Monet. He's 61 seconds back from the leader. So we'll have to keep an eye on Eric Monet and see how he gets on. But whether or not he's going to be able to make it work, I am not entirely sure. Gio Lalonde is having a bit of a quiet race, as is Magnus Dahlgren. We haven't picked up on much of these guys. You can see Dahlgren in behind Lalonde, trying to chase him at the moment through the center S's. There is Karanakis in that. Oh, maybe he hasn't. He's just lost it. Gio Lalonde's just been off the racetrack. Ooh.
Commentator's curse. Oh, that's. Oh. I was just running my race. I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
Possibly. I think Suvic's fast side came in the last few laps as well, so he's coming into his zone, is Suvic, compared to what we saw from him earlier on. And you can see he's coming up to lap one of the hypercars in the pack as they go over the line. Just trying to see who that is. That Angelidis? Oh, it's contact!
A little miscommunication there.
Hold on, as confided in CMS rules, he doesn't have to, Ross. All right?
Well,
I'm putting it out there because I don't want to get in trouble with him again.
He doesn't. I think he was anticipating Suvic to make the dive, and then he didn't see it happening right away, so he started to close the door and take his line, and then Suvic, yeah, it was just a little bit of a fumble there, I think. That wasn't necessarily intentional.
Yeah, you can see the, I'll give you the mixed timetable on the left. You can see the pit stops. Who's done what at the moment. That's the back end of the hypercars. Borman's on 1, Suvic 2, Laflamme 2, Lane 2, 1 on Smith and Graf. I don't think that Smith one's right. I'm sure he's winning twice. Kirby 1, Junt 1, Holden 1, and Tammy 1. That is right for the GT3s. They will be able to go a little bit longer. Then further back, Overton 1, Hall 1, Uyan, Karanakis, Miller, and Kruger all have got 1 as well. So that's going to be 1 more for the GT3s to come, I feel, on that one. And as you said, Mr. Reese, 1 more for the hypercars. But let's see when they take it, see if we can keep a nice little battle. Alan Holden back behind David Junt. Now, I wonder if that is, yes, it was Alan Holden's pit stop on that one, Tom.
So that is the hypercar going through. That we're looking at Alan Holden, that beautiful purple Lamborghini, heading through the Senna S. He's continuing his pursuit of David Junt, who we saw earlier is trying to make the one-stop work. I don't think it will work, but if Holden does go by him, it's no wonder, because you can see the gap is coming down between the Lamborghini and its counterpart ahead. The gap between those two, just trying to get up on the timing page at my end. It is, well, looking at the lap times, 9 tenths between Junt and Holden in terms of comparison over the last lap, but the margin's now down to obviously 7 tenths, which is hardly relevant at this stage. And just to stand correct, actually, it was over a second. I was looking at their best lap times, not the last lap times.
Yeah, I think the pit stop has played a part for Holden, He has done it once. I don't see him not doing it again in that Tamarario. Looks very, very quick indeed. So fair play to him. I think he's going to be able to clear Jun once more here. We're going to see what goes on. Whether or not it will be a thing. Can he get through for Alan Holden once more? Takes second place behind Dan Kirby. He cleared JT Tammy, of course. That was it. He cleared JT Tammy. Now on the back end of his teammate. Let's see what Alan Holden's going to be able to do. Closing in here, Ross. Holden having a good race.
Yeah, he's doing an exceptional job. He's been able to reel in both of those Lexuses. I mean, I don't know that we're going to have any issues here or any kind of interactions coming up to Kirby. He's just slowly been wheeling away, although he's maintained around about a 15-plus second lead throughout the race. I think he's taking his time and, you know, controlling his resources, so we should see him probably open that gap a bit more in this final stop whenever he ends up taking it. If he does end up taking it, we know that he can, when he gets a good gap, he can really, oh, that's a big slide by Holden. I think he's caught out a little bit.
That back end has just unfortunately flipped out on Alan Holden. Up the inside goes the Hypercar. No dramas for him, but Holden there getting a little bit of a wiggle on. Did lose a little put time to Davidson. Matty Overton's been in the pit lane. He's in pit lane now for Matty. Still got a little bit of time over Karanakis, but let's see if he can hold on to it, or is Karanakis going to go through? That's going to be an interesting one.
Oh, it's collision.
Oh, Van Hoven.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's have a look back at that one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so easy to do too when you're coming up to much slower traffic. If you're not immediately on your brakes, you can just get into him. I don't think he really meant to do any of that, but yeah, it's costly.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder how Holden is treating his tyres. That Lambo could chew him up, says Paul Libertson in YouTube chat, Ross. Well, you touched on it earlier. He does quite well on low tyres, doesn't he?
Well, he does, but you can see the effects of it as he's going through here. Wow, and both of these drivers are dealing with this slower traffic now, but I think it's going to help Alan as he's way out wide. Meanwhile, Van Hoven, second verse, same as the first. Big struggles here now between both classes. They're fighting. We'll make a move. And Van Hoven's off again. He's going to be an issue.
Oh, man. That's Miller in behind that, and I think that's Darrell Kruger. This is the Projan and Holden and Kruger and Miller all battling away for class position. Holden going for second, Kruger going for second, because Karanakis has taken the lead due to Overton's pit stop. So this is a 4-car fight between two GT3 classes, and they're all battling for second place at the moment. It's a great little fight going on here. That Tamarario, Tom, for whatever reason, that back end likes to give it a little bit of a wiggle.
It does, but Yunt ran into the back of Miller at the Curve de Sol when he was trying to lap him, and that allowed Holden to pretty much get alongside. And you have to say now, I wouldn't be at all surprised if Yunt took a little bit of damage from the contacts earlier, because I don't think that car will be performing as optimal as he will wish.
Oh, he's going to get threaded through an iron and Eden through the middle. Tamarario trying to go around the outside. Is he going to do it here? Can Holden do this? At the inside, had to hit the brakes. He got his nose cut off. But David Jun, Miller just cut the nose off of Darrell Kruger as well behind. Kruger's got a bit of a run. We're going to follow the front. Keep an eye on the back. It's Miller and Kruger. Jun and Holden down into turn 5. Nothing doing there. What's going on here? Did they make it through? They did. Where's Kruger gone? Oh, he's there. Drops a little bit back, but it's all about Alan Holden. David Jun, Holden trying to go for that second place at the GT3s. He needs it, Ross. He knows that, and he's trying to have a go.
Yeah, Jun just needs to stay up in front there for the team's battle for sure. But yeah, Alan Holden's doing everything he can. You know, mad respect for the way that he's racing. He hasn't put a fender to him at all. He hasn't forced the issue. I think he's trying to keep him unsettled, though, and you can see how much more of an attack he can get coming out of those corners. And he's aggressively on that rear bumper right now.
Yeah, there is a hypercar coming through. Going to sit in behind him at the moment. Now this is where the hypercar should just go and roar past, looking up the inside. I don't know if that's a good idea. They keep it wide at this moment in time. Through the other hypercar goes as well. Now this is still resuming the fight. Holden, Jean, once more, over the line they go. Miller's got a little bit of a gap to Kruger in the background. Holden can't get there this time. Is he looking for the exit out of the center S here, Tom, at the moment?
He nearly ran into the back of Yun. I thought there was going to be contact and both of them spinning, but luckily Holden got the car slowed down, and now he's got a good run on him into Retro Aposta, but it's not a very long straight round here, so I wonder if he'll wait back a little bit, or whether just to put Yun offline, even force him to go a tighter line into Interlagos, which he does, but Yun's come back at him.
Yeah, look at, I'm worried about the movement on that Lambo there. A lot of stuttering. It's almost controller-esque for Alan Holden. I don't think he does drive on a controller road, does he?
It's all good. It's all good. I think that might have just been a little bit of tunneling or something. Yeah, you can see very smooth movements here. Now it's going to be a matter of whether he kind of loses some of his patience.
Oh, sunshine. Look at the wiggles. That's the point I'm talking about.
I think it's just the rears on this thing are now kind of at the end of their life. I mean, they've got about 22 minutes left here in the race, and he's giving it all it can.
Yeah, Borman's going to go up the inside. Stay on board here. That Lambo is not looking comfortable. I thought it looked like it was on rails in the first stop cycle. Pulls out again, does Alan Holden. Is he going to be able to make this work this time? Alongside Jun. Jun's got no reply. Can't get through.
Oh, it's gone too deep.
Oh. Look at these two. It's like a prize fight. Who remembers Tyson Holyfield, eh? We've got Holden and Jun going at it. Full bore, gloves on. Fighting away. Holden is not looking comfortable, though, in this second stint, Tom.
I missed the first part of that, but we've been treated to an incredibly tight battle between these two, fighting effectively for second position, which could be the battle for the lead, depending on what goes on with Dan Kirby for his final stop. And Holden gets on the grass behind Yunt there, and this battle is not dying down anytime soon. I mean, to be honest with you, the more I keep seeing this, the more I keep missing what's been said. It's that interesting of a battle here at Interlagos.
Yeah, I wonder here if that Tamarario has got some pace on him, Ross. But I think Junt's just putting his car in the right place as stopping Alan Holden. But is it a reactive move where he moves late, or is it proactive where he moves early? I'm not entirely sure at the moment which way that's round. Ross just informed me Katarinakis is in pit lane, now drops down into fourth in class, so fair play to Katarinakis. The leader of Hypercar AMS, Jerry Chen, is in pit lane as well. Come on, Holden, you've got to take that line. Oh, it goes in pit lane.
And he goes.
Oh. Let's put the end of that one. Gutted. Oh, well. Over and done with there, Ross.
Yeah, now we're going to see a lot of the shuffling back on track as the chickens come home to roost, as they say. Ooh, Miller into the back of Overton, who was leading the category. And now he's dropped down the order after this most recent cycle, but I think we should see him come back through. Kruger leading right now, but I believe he'll still have to take his stop, and it's going to shuffle him back towards the front. Overton, that is.
Yeah, I think Overton should take the class win, but let's see how he gets on. Miller there drops back in behind him. So quite a little battle going on in the GT3. Settle down in the hypercars. Apart from this one, Timon Suvic and Axel. Stop laughing, Roswell. I've never heard you laugh so much during a broadcast here this week. You are. You're supposed to not laugh, Roswell. I can hear you. Don't mute your mic. It's pointless. I heard you chuckling. Timon Suvic trying to get onto the back of Axel and Flam here, Tom. Borman in pit lane, or was in pit lane, back out again in fourth at this moment in time. But Suvic trying to close in La Flamme, Tom.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the times involving those two. La Flamme was quicker on the last lap, 1.3 seconds to be exact. We saw Suvic get caught up in the traffic, which is not exactly convenient. Now we're going to see what the gaps, what the times are like. La Flamme did a 1:22.0, Suvic 1:23.0. So Laflamme is continuing to stretch the margin out ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Laflamme out in front by 3.1 seconds at the moment there as well. Kruger is still fighting it out with Overton in the AMS. There is Kruger. There is Overton. Now, is that Junt or is that Tammy? It's Tammy in front of us. These guys, they are a lap behind, mind you. So, yeah, Tammy there in front of them. Kruger with Maddie Overton. Tucked in behind Kruger in that McLaren, Overton in that Ferrari. That Ferrari has looked quite the better car here today in the hands of Maddie Overton. Can he keep this up though? And who has got pit stops, Ross? Has Kruger got another pit stop to come?
Yeah, he's still showing. He's only done one, so he's left it pretty late, but we should see him tuck in here within the next few minutes. He was just way further down away from Overton. There's no way that he'll be able to make it all the way to the end, even if he's only hitting within the next handful of laps. He's gonna have to make another stop.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I should free Maddie Overton, I believe has pitted. Miller's in pit lane. That's going to put Katarinakis back into third. So Katarinakis there with only 4 cars out on track at the moment. Katarinakis sitting in third place currently. You can see that gap to Katarinakis and Miller being out at 51 seconds on the left-hand side. You can see the Kruger-Overton battle. Kruger is in. Oh, in very, very quickly. Can he get that stopped in time? Break. Oh, I believe he may have done for Darrell Kruger, but that releases Maddie Overton out in front. Do you think JT is one stopping? We don't know. It's close, but we don't 100% know if he is or if he isn't, Paul, to be blatantly honest with you. It's going to be very, very close for JT, whether or not he can get it to the end. The interesting thing is Eric Monet, I wanted to keep an eye on because obviously the 30-minute stint cycle first, and then, of course, unfortunately, he got 3 penalties. He's sitting at this moment in time 4th in class, but he's 59 seconds behind Angelidis. I'm not sure if that's going to do Monet any favours here and whether or not he's going to be able to drag that car up into the podium. I'll be very surprised if he does on that one. Laflamme out in front, Borman 33 seconds tucked in, but is there one more stop coming for Laflamme? And if there is, oh, he's going round. Ooh, I thought he was going round there. If there is, Tom,
Yes,
surely it's going to be in the next 6 minutes.
Judging by the way he slid through turn 1 there, I think that might make up his decision on whether he's going to be pitting again or not. So just looking on the tyres, he's on now as we speak. He's on the hard, so I think he's going to try and stretch it out to the end if he's. That is what he wants to do. Ooh, those rears don't look healthy, do they?
No, Ross, that's not looking comfortable, is it?
Not at all. I think he did that switch about halfway through the race to the hards, and I think he's used them quite a bit now.
Yeah, he's just got nothing there on board with him. Keep on board seeing how he gets on here. Tamarario of Holden's in front. Look at him, the car just isn't wanting to rotate. In through the left-hander of Mugello we go, down the hill into Shimkau. On the brakes, trying to get it rotated. The car's just like, nope, not really having any of this. For Axel Laflamme now, he got Spruder Twisties the sector 2. That's Holden in front of us. Where is Laflamme going to be? Oh, is that going to be pit lane? Yes.
Yeah.
Now the question is, if he's got to stop, is Borman going to clear him?
I think he has another stop too, doesn't he?
No, Borman went in long ago. Tom sent that message about 5 minutes ago that Ben Borman went in pit lane.
And it looked like it had that. It did show pit stop time at 50 seconds-ish or so for his stop time. I'm just looking at the number of pits that it's calculated. It says he's got 2.
Yeah, it does say Borman's got 2, which isn't really right there, unless Borman's...
No, he's pitted 3 times. I'm sure of it, James. When I looked when he came in.
Yeah, I think they might be having a funny moment there. But Borman does take the lead. If he has got one more to go, can he open up enough of a gap over Axel Laflamme to make this stop work? Or is Borman going to shock us all and pull an absolute masterstroke? Well, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming down to the final 10 laps now as well. Some of the battles we're going to keep an eye on at this moment in time. David Junt, JT Tammy, Dan Kirby. We got JT and David. We think have got one more stop each to do. That should put Kirby back into the lead. So we're hoping that's how that one pans out. Matty Overton, we believe, has done his stops and is now running in the lead at the AMS. Jerry Chen and Norm Graff, if they have got stopped, we're going to find out in the next 3 minutes. We all know that pit stop display is broken on the live time, and thanks, Mr. Reese. That gives me complete 100% no confidence in that as well. Maybe we'll vote for that to get out and we'll change it. Borman, we think at this moment in time here as well, might have one more stop to go, but he's got 13 seconds over Axel Flam. I think, Ross, until we get to within about 7 minutes to go, I've got a funny feeling this could go right down to the wire.
I think Borman's good, because I mean, the last time that we saw him on camera, when he was in pit road, it was at about 40 some, and then when that marker came up on the timing, it showed that he was pitting right around the 22, 24 second mark, somewhere in there. So I think that he is good to the end, and he's just got to cruise now.
Well, we'll find out on that one. That's Kruger closing in on Miller. This is the final podium place in the GT3 AMS. Daryl Kruger doing a great job here. Hypercar tucked up, going to try and want to probably stay to the right-hand side. There you go, he gives you the inside line, tells you to take it. You can't have much more communication than that. Miller, however, does not make that as comfortable as Daryl Kruger as he switches that Hypercar from the inside to the outside, and that's brought Kruger right into the back of Miller here, Tom. This is for the final podium spot in AMS.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been anticipating this particular battle for some time now between Kruger and Miller. Overton back into the lead of that class as well after the latest stops. You can just see Axel Flam desperate to make up for lost time after ruining the last set of tyres he was on, particularly those rears that just cried out enough. But this traffic isn't helping him.
No, but he's in a very tricky place there. He either dives Jun Cao and chances contact, or he does what he did and sit behind him. And I think he did the right thing, sitting in behind him. John Huyan is in pit lane. Not seen much of John. He's in pit lane at the moment. Neither is Brian. We haven't seen much of Brian Hall either in that Corvette. And I think he's just about to jump John. Where is he? John's, yeah, he's going to pit lane. Kruger, not Kruger, sorry. Hall's going to go clear him in that Corvette Z06. Great looking car. Not many people take it. I think that's the only one, actually, to be honest with you. So fair play to to Brian Hall for doing that one. So yeah, Ross, I think this last sort of 7 minutes is really going to put us where we need to be and find out who's where.
Yeah, 100%. I have money on Ben Borman being able to make it to the end, because I really should stop talking, because I can hear his voice say, no, don't talk about me, don't say anything about how I'm doing. But you know, barring any sort of incidents from outside forces, he's in a good place right now, I think, to make it to the end. So I'll say that much, and hope that it's true.
Well, let's see what he does into one. Does he lift and coast into one? No, he doesn't. Maybe him and Interlagos are just kind of a good combo there, Tom, for Ben Borman.
Yep, well, it seems there's a handle on the situation at the moment, with a gap now that's increased. He was able to blow over a second on Laflamme on the previous lap. That's Alan Holden in the way. I don't think we'll be holding him up on this occasion.
Oh, like that, Tom. Well done, son. Yeah. I like that one.
Now it's Shola Lond, who I believe had to come in for a penalty. He will have done by now, because when you get a penalty, you have to serve it within 3 laps. Presumably that would have been either for track limits or for pit lane speed. I think it's track limits for Shola Lond. But we haven't spoken enough about Lalonde today, actually. I know he's had that penalty, but he seems to have had a quiet race without tripping up over anyone else. Then I cursed it. I cursed it.
That's the second time today.
Commentator's coincidence. Stop it, Ross Smith. Let us know. I tell you what, there's a question. Let us know, YouTube chat. Do you believe in the commentator's curse? Or do you believe that it's just a strict coincidence that every time we talk about a driver, something goes wrong? I'm going with the coincidence. I'm sticking with Mr. Zach Sweeney, who once told me it was a commentator's coincidence. So there, and a skill issue for the driver. But let me know in YouTube chat, is it real or is it just a bunch of mumbo jumbo that drivers just can't drive properly when we got the camera on them on that one? Let us know. Team on Suvic, 2.8 seconds back here, Ross, from Axel Laflamme at this moment in time. Can Suvic get him?
You know, I wasn't sure at first, but I'm thinking that, you know, just based on what we've seen from Laflamme's attitude, his car attitude, and the way that gap's been coming down, it was in double digits before, and just within the last, you know, 4 or 5 laps, it's come down. And I mean, I think, yeah, with just under 8 minutes left to go, I think he could close it up. It's just one big slide from Laflamme away from him being right on his tail.
Yeah, there he is in the background. Eric Monet's been off the race circuit. I wonder if that's a bad one. Let me just have a look at that. I seem to be getting a lot of them at the moment.
Oh, very close. Wow, Baja. I don't think there was.
No.
Yeah, he just got on the curb. This is user end, I believe.
You're not blaming me for that one, but that was just a proper dodgy camera angle there. I do apologise if you had to turn your head sideways there, but yeah, that was, yeah, wasn't supposed to happen. Never mind, moving on. Didn't see it, that's fine. Suvic now 3 seconds back from Laflamme at the moment in time. Lost a little bit of time. See how that one pans out. Now the question is, can JT Tammy, Tom, and David Jun go to the end with 6 minutes to go?
It's going to be very, very tight. Dan Kirby will know the situation all too well. He probably would have envisaged that those behind him, at least 1 or 2, were going to try and do the one stop. But looking at the comparison in terms of the times, Kirby got down the gap by 1 second on Tammy and 8/10 on Yunt. So it's clear that Kirby is quicker than all those 3.
He's going in.
Oh no, Tammy's in. He
Yeah.
couldn't stretch it.
That's a shame.
JT Tammy goes in pit lane. That puts Kirby up. David Junt's in pit lane. Oh, Kirby's done it. They couldn't get to the end. 5.5 minutes left for the Lexuses, and they couldn't get it to the end. Where is Holden? Oh, he's a long way back. He's in through Mugello, through Juncal. Oh, how close are you going to be, Alan Holden? Oh, I don't think you're going to be that close.
He's going to be too far back, James. They're
Yeah.
going to be well clear of him.
Oh, not a bad strategy, Ross. Grab that second and grab the second and third for Jun and Tammy. Did they? Yeah, they did, because Holden's still not even in turn 1. So not a bad strategy, but they did have to splash a dash at the end.
Well, it's 5 minutes left. Let's keep an eye, because depending on what their pace is, as Holden comes around, he might still try and at least grab the back end of the podium, as we see both of them on screen at the same time there.
5 seconds, Ross?
Minutes.
No, that's not what I meant. 5 seconds is the gap.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see what their pace is as they came out through there, because Alan Holden was driving pretty well as they were going through. How much of that was down to the 2 Lexuses holding back to be able to conserve fuel remains to be seen. I guess we'll check out once they get their first actual lap next time by.
Yeah, we'll see how these guys get on there as well. We will communicate properly up here in the booth, I'm sure, at one point this season. Hubert Van Gashoven there in the background. Apologies if anybody's hearing my dog. He's a yappy dachshund and he's doing my nutting at this moment in time. I think he just barks at everything bar his own shadow. So there we go. Borman, Tom, 4 minutes to go. Is this the end run for Ben Borman?
It should be, and we're 15 seconds in front. I think the only way for Borman to lose it is, well, Borman. I think only he can stop himself from taking what is a well-deserved win on the day. as he makes his way through the back markers. And judging by the times, I think he's probably got 4 laps to go, including this one. So that might buy some drivers some time to try and catch those within their respective classes. We spoke about the LMGT3 Pro class in terms of the battle involving Kirby, Yunt and Tammy. We won't get a direct comparison just yet, but Kirby is just on a 1:33.5. So just remember that as a benchmark for the next lap or so.
All right, we'll keep an eye on the lap times there of Yunt and Tammy. Holden not really making inroads on Tammy. I think he's got too much to do. But Boorman, however, has not got too much to do. He's just got to keep it on track. 3 minutes to go. Should be 3 more laps at the line here, Ross. Is it? Can we now talk about the Ben Boorman? Is it going to be his first victory?
I really don't want to.
You absolute sitting on the fence, splinter bum, Ross Smith.
My opinion is certainly in his favor, but if I keep talking about it directly, I know that he will throw something hard and pointy at me.
Do you live near him?
It won't matter.
Why won't it matter? If you're too far away, Ross, he ain't going to eat you.
He will find me. I will say that Ben Boorman is doing a fantastic job, and if he manages to snip the lead and the win out of this one, then it will be well earned.
Ooh, I like
and
that.
A long time coming.
I like that, Ross. Very well sat on the fence. That's Daryl Kruger grabbing that final podium of Stephen Miller at the moment. Kruger is in front of him now. So Miller's got some work to do. Boorman's going to go up the inside. Not many laps left for Ben Boorman. 2 minutes on the clock. He's going to have 1 and 1 more, I would have thought. I don't think it's going to take him 20 seconds in that hypercar to run up the hill. But he's going to have 1 and 1 more for Ben Boorman. He's nearly had his first victory here. I'm going to leave him alone. Shall I leave him alone? Nah. Let's see how he gets on. And once again, no real other battles to sort of at the moment in time. Everybody else is a little bit spread out. Miller was closing on Kruger. That's now 1.2 seconds. There's Miller. See Kruger up the road there as the camera pans out, as the cameraman does what I tell it to do, which is nice on that one. So that's going to be another close battle. Kirby leading the GT3 Pros. Holden not really making any inroads. So maybe Tammy and Junt were holding back to try and eliminate the splash and dash. Didn't quite get there as well. Suvic closing in on La Flamme. This is your rundown at the moment. At this moment in time is now 2.2 seconds. So keep an eye on this one as we've got 1 more lap to go for these guys. Where is Boorman at the moment? He's coming in, I believe that's Pico de Palo. Through Mugello he goes, and it will be the final lap of the race. You don't really want a chance whether or not you can knock this off altogether. Middle on that one. So we'll keep an eye. I think Stephen Miller's been off track. That's why he's dropped back there. So I've got you on that one, Ross. I can see it all. Over the line goes Ben Boorman. Final lap here, Tom, for Ben Boorman.
Well race as well from him, from where he had started. Making the most of the strategy around here at Interlagos, considering the high degradation that was anticipated. And now he just needs to just keep it on the circuit all the way through. And just to mention, it was Stephen Miller that brought out that brief yellow flag. So that's that battle involving him and Kruger all but over now. And now it's coming down to just wrap things up here. And it's going to be a first win of the season for the man in your picture.
Yeah, great job from Boorman. He will be coming over the line very, very shortly. We will pick up on him here. We'll stay on board. It's going to be the first win of the season for Ben. He's told us not to talk about it. He told us not to talk about him. And he told Ross Smith that if he talks and something happens, he's going to throw something at him. Abuse going on in CMS. Carl with a white flag in YouTube chat there as well. It is. Great job, Dan Kirby, looking at taking the win in the GT3 Pros. And it will be, I think, Matty Overton who's going to grab it in the GT3 AMS. But Ben Boorman is going to go up over the line. He's going to take the win. It's going to be a winner, 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 chicken dinner for Ben Boorman for the first victory of his season. Drove a master stroke. Borman takes that victory in the Hypercar Pros. Great job from him there as well. What a run from Ben Borman. What a win from him. Jerry Chen will be the next one over the line in the Hypercar AMS. He's going to come over and take victory as well. Jerry Chen with a win here at Interlagos at the greatest circuit ever. On that one, over the line goes Jerry Chen. What a wonderful victory for him. Then it's going to be Dan Kirby. Are they all going to finish in... Oh, I like this. They're all going to finish in order. Dan Kirby going to come over the line to wrap up yet another victory in that GT3. Got a little bit of a wiggle on towards the line, but Dan Kirby takes the winning class. Great job from him. Over the line goes Kirby for another victory. And it looks like it's actually going to be Katarinakis who's going to take that victory in the GT3 AMS. How the blinking Nora did that happen? But Vasilius comes over the line. He's going to take the victory. He's first on my leaderboard. Katarinakis is going to win by 10 seconds here, Ross. How did we miss that?
I don't know. I was keeping an eye on it that whole time, right up until the last couple laps there. So it happened right at the very end. He even got ahead of John Uyan, who's up there in the GTs in the pros. And yeah, he's a 19th overall. Great win for him out of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely there, Tom. Great racing from Katarinakis.
Absolutely wonderful. And another victory to go into the cabinet. I think that's his third win this season. The previous victories for him coming at Daytona and last time out at Watkins Glen. So it's the first race he's won that's not in the USA.
Oh, nice. Well done, Vasilius. On that one, I'm going to try and find that in a minute because that is absolutely dramatic how we just ended up taking that victory. So bear with me on that one. Let's see if we can see where Katarinakis got that, because
that was after the line. It went over the line. Yeah. Overton's been off. Oh, he went in the barrier. So that's dangerous.
I'm just watching that replay again after he came back onto the track and nearly took out Moynet. That was yeah, unbelievable. Pulled an Overton on the final lap. He had it in the bag and had to limp the thing home and got past right at the very end.
any longer, ladies and gentlemen. Right, we'll be able to bring you up the results here of this race. What a stunning race it's been. Let's start it off with, let's go mixed on this one because there's been quite a few people out of position. So let's see if we can see the results here as well. Ben Borman takes the win with Axel Laflamme in second, Timon Suvik in third. That's your podium in the pros. And it's Tom Lane and Magnus Dahlgren top five. Jerry Chen takes the win in the AMS with George Angelidis, Alan Smith and Norm Graff wrapping up the podium for the AMS with Gilles Lalonde a little bit further back. Next on, Eric Monet in 11th, Dean Clark in 12th, Hubert van Gashoven down in 13th. Dan Kirby wrapping the win up in the GT3 Pros with David Junt and JC Tammy, who had to splash and dash at the end. Alan Holden, Brian Hall and Vasilius Katarinakis takes that win in the GT3 AMS after Matty Overton put it in the wall. Then John Huyan, there is Matty there in 21st. Daryl Kruger, Stephen Miller, Maximilian Petrovsky DNF, Gutierrez DNF, Michael Locke DNF, and Vasilius Katarinakis DNF'd as well. What a run from some of these guys. I'm going to start it off with the GT3 AMS here as well. Let's have a chat with him. Did he get lucky or did he not? It's Vasilias Kataranakis. Vasilias, welcome in. Well done on your victory, son.
Thank you very much, but I don't think it was really deserved. Honestly, it was Matthew's race to win, not to lose, to win. He won. He was gonna win it easily, and I was like, okay, just finish P2, no problem. He had the better car all around, better stretch all around, and then all of a sudden I'm coming up to to the final lap, and I see the gap is dropping. And at first I was very worried that it was my internet dropping. I was like, well, great. And this going to the last lap. What great luck for me. But no, I saw that then Matthew was going off track, and I visibly and loudly went no without obviously interrupting the others. It was honestly, it was worth it. His win was easily one of the best drivers that he would have had all season, actually.
Yeah, I think you might be right. But to be honest, Vasilias, it doesn't matter. You got to get it over the line. And Matty didn't get it over the line.
Well, yeah, it was. I guess what you're saying is true. Sometimes you need luck on your side, but I thought after the start I wouldn't have had any, but yeah, here we are.
Yeah, I know, Vasilias, I know. But it was still, listen, you've taken the victory. Yes, Matty Overton should have wrapped it up if he could have kept it on the racetrack at the end, but it doesn't matter. You've taken a win here. Well done, bud. That's going to give you a nice little bumper points going in to the last few rounds. That will still keep you in the lead in the championship as well. Can you do it this season, Vasilias?
I think it's too early to tell, to be honest. Matthew can easily do a couple of races like this, and then obviously Steven too, and Max, and if they get their game on, I think it's going to be very difficult to get the championship. So don't keep them outside. Bring them in the same room, because we all are, and it's going to be a very difficult championship, I feel like.
I do agree. Vasilias, well done. Thank you so much for joining us. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go there, buddy?
I would like to say a big thank you to everyone who made the mod, obviously, and for organizing this event. And I would like to also give a shout out again to my buddies Krobs and Steve. The last time around, they were very happy that I gave them a shout out. So here you are again, second shout out, second in a row. Yeah, I think it feels good for them now.
Well done, mate. Congratulations on that one, and well done once again.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we're going to have a chat with your GT3 Pro winner once more. He cannot surely keep taking the top step for Dan Kirby, but he's in a Porsche. It's more than possible that he can. Let's have another chat with Dan. We seem to be here every single time, Mr. Kirby. Well done. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. That was a difficult race.
Why?
Just trying to hang on to the car, manage the tires, and not kill myself.
You are in a Porsche, mate. That is fairly justifiable reason not to try and kill yourself, to be honest, because I think the car wants to kill you more than you do on that one. But another victory, Dan. Are we now looking that are you going to be far enough ahead? We've still got a bit of races to go, but you have opened a bit of a massive gap.
Yeah, maybe. It should be, I won't say comfortable, because, I mean, even this race, I didn't really know how it was panning out yet, because JT and David can go super long. I think there were only like 2 laps or something short of one stopping it. So, I mean, I never count anyone out until it's the end. But, yeah, it should be fun times.
I'm sure it will be, Dan. I'm looking forward to it, seeing how he goes on that one. Dan, thank you so much for joining us there, bud. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Just the usual. Everyone here for the super fun race. That was really, really cool.
All right, Dan. Take care, buddy. We'll catch up with you next time out.
Alrighty. See you guys.
Next up, we're going to have a chat with your Hypercar AM winner, Mr. Jerry Chen. He's put one over Angelidis. He needed this one. Is this going to be the boost that Jerry Chen is finally going to start trying to catch George? Jerry, welcome in, bud.
Gentlemen, that was a fun race. Lots of traffic, but really fun.
It definitely was, mate. It was great from up here in the booth, dude, and you come out victorious.
Yeah, after the first turn weirdness, I don't know what happened there, but I saw George was back there, and I figured he probably got damaged. So I was just trying not to destroy my tires too soon, and then caught Eric and had a little fun, and then just trying to make sure I didn't kill anybody in traffic.
I agree with you on that one. But Jerry, listen, I've got a question for you. A controversial question.
Uh-oh.
George has never been the bride. He's always been the bridesmaid.
Yes.
Are you going to let him win? Are you going to let him take one?
No, that's not happening.
Oh, man. I thought you were friends.
He's still, I think we were tied after Watkins Glen, so I think I have a slim lead. But I have a disadvantage because he murdered, death killed me at Sebring, so I have a race that was like 30 points that I didn't get, so that's my throwaway. So I can't have any more bad races. So we'll see. It's gonna be close. We still got some races to go, but it'll be fun.
So you're going after him? You're going to stop him?
Oh yeah. I'm
Oh,
gonna chase him down.
Who said friendship is finished in sim racing? Jerry. Anyone you want to shout out, bud, before we let you go?
No, just all the drivers today. I saw it was a great race, and there was some awesome racing in GT3 class that was passing people.
All right, man. Take care, buddy. We'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks.
Right, and the final one, ladies and gentlemen, he has done it here as well. We've got half the season down, but he's managed to take the victory at Interlagos, his first ever victory this season. He is synonymous with Interlagos. He is the man, the myth, the legend himself who's been fighting all season. Ben Borman takes the victory. Ben, welcome in, bud.
Hi there. I thought I was synonymous with bad luck.
No, Ben, I didn't say. I said synonymous with Interlagos, Ben. Shush, don't. Nobody seems to worry about it, mate. It's fine. Dude, first victory of the season.
Yeah, first victory, first good race in probably about 5 years in the VWSC. So, yeah, really happy. I had a plan, and it worked.
It definitely did. I am interested to know, though, because Ross has been told that apparently he weren't allowed to talk about you throughout this whole broadcast, just in case anything happened, and the fact that you were going to apparently go and find him and throw things at him. Is that true?
If he'd started talking about me in the last couple of laps, yeah, I would have. I saw Matthew, who had similar luck to me, get murdered on the last lap.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I'd like to point out Matthew did murder himself.
Oh, did he? Okay. Oh, that sounds like the pair of us.
Yeah, he come through turn one, through the centre S's, and then hit the curb and spun the back end up and put the car straight in the wall.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Didn't look happy. I've got to apologise to Eric. I wasn't very tactically aware when I came up to him. Didn't realise that he was going so long, and I didn't need to be in so much of a rush. And I thought if I ever go past him again, I'll be nicer. And then just after the last set of stops, not knowing what tyres anybody else was on and where the gaps were going to close, I had to put the foot down, and I met Eric in exactly the same spot, and I pulled exactly the same rude move. So sorry, Eric.
I wouldn't worry about it, mate. You won.
And I've got at least 15 seconds in case Eric does want to ping me for that.
I agree, but I don't think he will, because I think nobody wants to take away the first victory, Ben, there as well, to be blatantly honest with you, mate. It was well-deserved. You drove an absolute stunning race, and it was absolutely awesome for us to sit up here in the booth and watch it. So well done to you for that one. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go, dude?
Everyone at CMS, everyone at JB Broadcasting. It's just great to take part.
All right, man. Well, take care. Thank you very much for that one, Ben. And we'll catch up with you soon, buddy. But massive congratulations on taking your first victory of this season.
Cheers. Thanks very much.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Ben Borman rounded us off in the interviews with his first ever win. Ross, what can we say about that one? Great racing from all of them.
Yeah, I didn't see anything that was too out of sorts. Although, as we talked about early on, I mean, Tom pointed it out, you pointed it out. It's it can get very dicey with the high speeds and high stakes. So there were some moments, but overall it was great. We had some really, really intense battles, some great strategies that were divergent and convergent with one another. So all in all, it was a great spectacle.
Yeah, Tom, final words from you, sir.
We've been treated to a brilliant race again, and the wait was well worth it for Ben Botman coming away with his first win in a very, very long time. And given the result here, has shaken things up in the standings in all the classes, which will be updated in due course.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll find them out for that one. Ladies and gentlemen, join us next time out as the VWFC roars into Road America. We all know how that one can go. I've been JP. I've been in the booth with Tom Cairns. I've been in the booth with Ross Smith. And as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.